It's an unbearably hot summer's day, but that's no excuse not to ride, right? I'm in the company of the Bajaj Avenger Street 180 and the Suzuki Intruder ABS, both of which are cruisers designed for the urban audience. Now it's obvious that I'm going to choose the most powerful bike Wait, I should have just seen that coming. Now I guess I have a lot of catching up to do. Or do I?
That the Avenger would be anyone's first pick from between the two is not surprising. This, despite being an age-old design, looks simple, cool and appealing. While it does get tasteful graphics, a small fly screen and a new grab rail, it retains its analog speedometer, which goes with its minimalist theme. Overall, it's not the most contemporary looking motorcycle around, but it's not offensive in any way either.
The Avenger Street 180 is a familiar design, but it looks like a classical cruiser should. Its blacked out cycle parts suit its urban mindset, and although it looks younger than ever before, it's not a motorcycle that's going to turn heads anymore.
What will turn heads a lot, however, is the Intruder. This is undoubtedly Suzuki's most ambitiously designed small capacity motorcycle yet, and it's only too visible. With elaborate bodywork, a funky front and rear end, a generous split seat, and a jigsaw-sourced digital instrument cluster, the Intruder looks futuristic, although it lacks the simple, classical appeal of the Avenger.
The Intruder is flamboyant, almost outlandish you can say, although its looks aren't everyone's cup of tea. It is, however, the better built and finished motorcycle of the two here. Although, is it something I'd like to be seen on? No, I'm too uncool for it.
The Avenger Street 180 gets a 180cc 2-valve DTSI motor paired to a 5-speed gearbox, same as the Pulsar but detuned to suit its cruising aspirations. Thankfully, it hasn't been detuned all that much and it still produces a healthy 15.5 HP at 8,500 RPM and 13.7 kgm of torque at 6,500 RPM. As a result, the Avenger is ever willing to be ridden hard, and thanks to sporting a larger displacement motor than the Intruder, is more at ease sustaining high speeds on the highway. Vibrations do emerge towards the top end of its rev band, although this largely occurs beyond real-world cruising speeds.
The Avenger's motor is slightly more powerful and it shows. Its Pulsar motor is very encouraging of aggressive riding, and Bajaj has really put in the long hours trying to get its refinement levels up to a commendable standard. The 5-speed gearbox too is smooth but not as slick as the Intruder's.
The Intruder's 155cc 2-valve motor is one that delivers its 14.8 HP and 14 Nm of torque effortlessly, almost as if it's an app-controlled phenomenon. The motor offers enjoyable tractability, although it could do with a little more power, or a lot more power if you're into that sort of thing. In its current tune, it's a breezy, stress-free motor you will never find fault with, but a cruiser needs a power plant with substance, and that's something Suzuki really needs to dig out.
The Intruder is just Mr. Nice Guy. It's smooth, linear, relaxed, and almost as effortless as a gearless scooter. It's definitely more refined than the Avenger, and its 5-speed gearbox is lovably smooth. Its lack of outright grunt, however, means you have to really work hard to keep pace with the Avenger, and I really wish the Intruder had some more mechanical character, because right now, it's just too soft for a proper cruiser.
There's no point to a healthy motor if the rest of the motorcycle can't cope, and thankfully, both the Bajaj and the Suzuki have a lot to offer in this aspect. The Avenger offers decent ride quality, and while its telescopic fork is pliant over rough surfaces, it isn't soft enough to blur its cornering edge. Its dual shock absorbers are also up to the task, although a plusher pair definitely wouldn't hurt. Its pillion seat isn't as comfortable as the Intruder's though, and certainly isn't suitable for more than a commute. Also, while the 260mm disc up front has good bite, the front tire struggles to cope with hard braking. In comparison, the Intruder is friendlier. The suspension is softly set up, which is great over broken roads, and thanks to its short wheelbase, it's also a lot of fun to attack corners with. The brakes, on the other hand, aren't the sharpest in the business, but thanks to a good front-rear balance with the disc at either end and ABS, the Intruder is more composed in a panic braking situation. Overall then, the Avenger is an enjoyable motorcycle, but so is the Intruder, which is the better all-round package for the streets as well.
The Avenger is based on a 2-decade-old platform, and frankly, it can't hide its age anymore. It's not the most comfortable bike for taller riders, and its seat is good for commuting, but not for a long day in the saddle. That said, it still is a lot of fun in the twisties, although you should be mindful of its lack of ABS. The Intruder is instantly more welcoming and plush, and it seats you in a relaxed, laid-back riding position like any good cruiser should. It's more comfortable over a long distance, and thanks to its short wheelbase and jigsaw jeans, it's extremely corner-happy. Thanks to ABS, hard braking is just not an issue, although the brakes could have felt a little bit sharper.
Ultimately, value for money is something us Indian motorcyclists just cannot escape or resist. So let's get to the prices. The Avenger Street 180 can be had only in one trim and is priced at 84,346 rupees, which is a fair price for what it offers. The Intruder, meanwhile, is available in two variants, carburetor and fuel injection, with the base variant wearing a sticker price of 1,02,072 rupees ex-showroom Mumbai. That's a monumental price difference, obviously, but then the Intruder justifies this by offering an extra disc, ABS, a monoshock, a digital instrument cluster, and a lot more bodywork. Is a motorcycle merely the sum of its parts though? It isn't, and it shouldn't be. Motorcycles are meant to have personalities, and in that scheme of things, the Intruder is calm, friendly, and easy to get along with. The Avenger, however, has a stronger personality and feels more analog, which you should prefer if a Royal Enfield or a Harley Davidson is your aspiration point, and it definitely has more attitude on the road than the Intruder.
When I set out to ride today, I had my eyes set on the Avenger. Its involving motor and dynamics are easy to like, and I quite like the way it still looks. As we got closer to the end of the day's riding, it's the Intruder that began to grow on me. Sure, it's 18,000 rupees more expensive than the Avenger, but you also get a lot more kit for that money. Now, an Avenger with similar levels of equipment surely wouldn't be as cheap, right? Now, the Intruder isn't flawless, and I'm still not sure I want to be seen on it, but there is no doubt about the fact that it is the better cruiser of the two motorcycles here. Not again.